Hello. Hey everybody. Welcome to, as you can see, to a brand new episode of the Grand Slam podcast. Of course, I'm your host here, Edgar, today. And as you can tell, it's been quite it's been a bit more than a month since we've been gone, you know. We've been all doing our own thing. We've been working on stuff, but we'll get to that in a bit. Because first, I do got to introduce my two lovely co-hosts, Mr. Robin Machuca and Will from South Texas.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. How's it going? Hi.
Hello.
We are calling from a tin can outside of a Denny's.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's been rough. Edgar, do you mind if I fill the people in on what's happened in the last month?
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
Okay. So due to budgetary restrictions, by which I mean we didn't pay the rental bill, we got thrown out of the old studio. And Edgar laughs at this every time because I'm in charge of the money. I gave Edgar the check to give to the landlord, and he took the check and cashed it and went and bought a dinner with it. One dinner, big dinner.
I mean, it was a pretty expensive dinner. I mean, I wasn't gonna have. It's like a once in a lifetime thing, you know.
That's why you don't use the rental money, Edgar.
Well, how else was I gonna buy a golden tomahawk? How was I ever gonna not have? I wanted to try the golden tomahawk. I asked you guys if you wanted to be part of it, but you guys were like, "Oh, it's our rent money. It's our rent money," and I'm like, "But it's golden tomahawk, you know."
Yeah, Edgar, we had to sell the microphones. You have the only microphone, and that's only because you ran away with it. The company we rent those from is still looking for you. So I mean, Robin and I,
well, they can't find
outside the Denny's.
Yeah, this is, as you can tell, ladies and gentlemen, this is a trash can episode of the podcast, as we've talked about in our pre-pro show. But don't worry, hopefully soon we'll get back on our feet and all of us will be out of the trash can.
Will, you forgot to mention what Elton John did.
As all of you know, Elton John was one of our backers. He was a fan of the show, a known fan, and Elton pulled funding. He heard we lost the studio, and he just pulled funding. But he did send Robin and I a nice fruit basket, and it was bananas and apricots. And Robin, what are those weird fruits that you like?
The cherries.
Cherries, right. Nobody likes those. And also there was like a chocolate covered kumquat, I think it is.
Oh.
Anyway,
yeah.
I ate that. And anyway, the card just
you got
said,
a chocolate covered. You got a chocolate covered kumquat. I only got I just got chocolate covered raspberries.
Oh, Robin, I told you not to eat those. That was just moose shit.
Oh, I wondered why they tasted metallic.
What? Okay.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Anyway, like I said, the card on the fruit basket just said "Go fuck yourself." So, Elton John pulled funding. So that being said, if you want to fund the Grand Slam live, come over to the dumpster behind the Denny's on 14th, and we'll be there probably, since we lost the place where we were staying and our studio. That's right, we lived together in the same space that we now lost because Edgar ate a golden tomahawk steak. So just come on and knock any day except for Tuesday. That is the day.
To be fair, Elton John did he did visit me when I ate the golden tomahawk, and he was all like, "Oh, you're eating a golden tomahawk?" I'm like, "Yeah." And then he just gave me a letter, but it wasn't a letter like towards me. It just said "fuck you, Robin." I was gonna give it to you like a long while ago, but Will told me like, no, let's just keep it a secret.
Yeah.
And so
Robin was not the favorite of the three of us. So the ranking went me, no one, Edgar, all of the guests that we've had,
Mm-hmm.
the Xenomorph,
Yeah, it was
Robin.
and then Robin. Yeah.
And then, ironically, after Robin, dogs. Elton
Yeah.
John, not a fan of dogs. Not a
Right.
fan of that bit.
No.
Also, unmentioned, and I think that's telling, Craigifer Jones.
Yeah.
No opinion. Hates him more. I don't know.
We'll never
Elton
know.
John, not a fan of Jones.
Had
We'll
a
never
lot
know.
of-
He's not.
Had a lot of good things to say about Crazy Mike, though.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you know,
I mean,
shit,
who doesn't
everybody
like?
likes
Crazy
Mike.
who doesn't like Crazy Mike?
Everybody
Oh.
loves Crazy Mike.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Don't
In
ask
fact,
Ben,
I
don't
think
ask
I
Ben
hear him now.
Affleck though. Don't ask Ben Affleck about him though.
I do never mention Ben Affleck around Crazy Mike. Speaking of Crazy Mike, how's it going? Oh, hello, my fine fellow. I see you in this can. Do you mind if I just grab these French fries? Well, Crazy Mike, I guess you can have these French fries. I know, my fine fellow. I'm gonna just take these French fries and oop, I think I hear someone in danger. I'm gonna go run and save them, as I do. Woo-hoo! We'll see you, Crazy Mike. You have a good one.
There he goes.
There he goes, walking
There he
across the
goes.
parking lot,
Yeah.
and he's
And
gone.
he's gone.
Yeah. Oh, there he goes. Yeah. Oh.
Just as fast as he shows up to steal some French fries from a dumpster outside of the Denny's, he then flees off to save somebody in danger, save somebody in need. That's Crazy Mike walking up with his twigs in his hair, with a smile on his face and a big pointy stick in his hand.
Yeah.
Of course, he is shirtless and has sweatpants on, but
As you
it's,
do.
as you do. So, all right. So, what are we here to talk about here in this great old dumpster?
In this old dumpster right over
I want
here.
to talk about the fact that the recipe changed for the pancakes. I can taste it. They did throw pancake batter on us recently, and
Yes.
it's. Let me just taste that. Yeah, I think Randy put too much eggs in it this time.
Oh yeah.
Now we can't be going around here talking about controversial issues. Well,
All I'm thinking is, Randy. If Randy had stayed in culinary school for literally 5 more minutes, he would have known how many goddamn eggs to put into a fucking pancake mix. Anyway, enough of that. But yeah, Randy done fucked up the
Yeah.
pancake batter.
Yeah.
But we
But,
are here to talk today about a movie.
Yes, a movie indeed. I will say, just for the viewers, we are doing a just some quick updates on our podcast itself. On other than us living in a trash can temporarily, we all been doing our own thing. So that was the reason we took like the month off just to get ourselves settled. But we did come up with a thing where I agreed with Rob and Will. Instead of doing the show every week, we're gonna start doing the show like every other week. So that way, not only will it give us time to like watch the movies or find stuff to talk about, but also to give more variety on our show. So like one week will be our show. The second week will be like gaming videos or gaming streams or a mini podcast episode. Then the following will be our podcast episode. Next week, the similar thing, and so on and so forth. So that way, it could give us and Robin and Will some time to watch what we need to watch or do what we want to do. So yeah, keep the
I got a job
yeah.
Mr. Will got a job.
and I moved. So this is obviously we're not literally in a trash can. Like this, I don't want to break down the jokes for everybody, but obviously we're not literally in a trash can. I live next to the trash can, and I actually I sweep the sidewalk every other day, and it's a busy life sweeping the sidewalks. I got the cleanest sidewalks in 3 blocks.
Yeah.
And I'm just dealing with internet issues. That's why I'm on my phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Robin, his internet is down, but also Mr. Will got a new job, so he moved. So right now he's just waiting to get his stuff in. So when he gets all settled, then we'll be able to have our podcast not in a trash can, in that kind of sense.
I didn't even have a bed for a week. I was sleeping on a chair. You ever just slept on a chair for a week? I can tell you, not that great.
I've slept on a chair
ever-
like once or a couple of times, but that was because I was just like tired.
I don't have a microwave.
Oh damn.
I've got an oven. I've got an oven and a toaster oven. So I got big oven and small oven.
Mm.
I don't, I don't have cups. I'm drinking directly out of a gallon of sweet tea right now.
Hey, but a gallon of sweet tea, that's not bad.
No, but you know what's better? Cups. Just having them.
True that. True. But once Will gets everything all nice and settled, we should be able to
Once
have.
I get cups.
Once
You mean
Will,
once I get a cup?
once Will finally gets a cup, Will be able to sound nice and beautiful as he does in our episodes. Same thing goes with Robin.
Once Will gets a cup and a string as well as another cup, and puts them together, then it'll sound more like a tin can edition than a trash can edition.
Right. So actually, I'm gonna get a cup and I'm gonna mail it to Robin with a piece of the string, and we're gonna put them together, and we're gonna be able to send Edgar a line. Edgar, you're gonna have to get online to hear us, okay?
Okay.
Online. Okay, good.
Oh man.
We just want you to be involved in the conversations for the company, okay?
True that. Yeah. I won't buy any golden tomahawks anymore. I'm already done with that phase.
Yeah, you've done that for us. Thanks.
But yeah. So every other week we'll be having a new episode on the Grand Slam podcast. The other weeks, either it's going to be me streaming with the boys, like Robin, Will, and other people, or like a stream on my own. Keeps the variety. I'm also going to add a lot of the streams that I've done, like the gaming streams that I've done with like Will and Robin, like our Minecraft ones or our Phasmo ones, or even the ones that I've done for Halloween and for the previous ones. Those I'll just stream them. I'll just upload them the way they are, just like VOD, so people can go watch them and see them whenever they want. But we do have some recorded ones that I'll work on, so that way our schedule would be like, okay, 1 week I'll work and edit on the podcast stuff, and then the following will be the gaming one. So that way, there's like a more variety than just our podcast on there, so everyone can have a piece of the pie or the piece of the Grand Slam meal.
Yes.
Yeah, we got games coming out. Hey, y'all remember when it was October and we were gonna do spooky shit? And you remember when we didn't? We got that in the can. We got video games in the can from 5 years ago. We weren't even doing this podcast 5 years ago, but we got it. Edgar, how long have I known you?
I want to say
5 years. That's right. 5 years.
20 years. You've known me for 20 years.
I've known you for years and years.
I've known Will for 20 years. I've known Robin for 2 days.
Yes.
Yeah. Robin just showed up one day to the tin can outside the Denny's, and we said, "Fuck it, man. We like the cut of your jib. You want to be on a talkie show with us?" And Robin went. He only spoke that way for a whole day, and then we got some food in him and looking.
I was feral.
He was feral. We had to get Crazy Mike over, and we were like, "Hey, Crazy Mike, do you know what he's saying?" He was like, "I do, my good man. That gentleman is saying, hello, I am hungry, and I mean you no harm." And we said, "Well, good. Here's a turkey leg that we found. We didn't find it.
We just.
It was just there." Yeah.
I remember that. That was good times.
It was a good time. Oh, we gotta start this show though. We're being ridiculous. Yeah.
Now that we got most of that stuff covered of what our plans are for the future, for the coming future, now we'll get to what we're going to be talking about today. What movie we're going to be discussing. And this movie, we're all like, it's the holiday season, so why not? We picked out another Christmas movie, Die Hard. We're discussing Die Hard, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad.
Yes, that's who's in Die Hard.
Right. It's Die Hard with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad, and also Frank Reynolds, I think.
not the character, not the actor, not the actor who plays Frank Reynolds.
Right. With a special appearance by Maya Angelou.
This is starting to be a fever dream.
No, we're not, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger's Christmas movie, Jingle All the Way.
The Christmas.
Fuck, I think I watched
Jingle
Predator.
All the Way.
Jingle.
I watched Predator.
Oh, you watched Predator?
Yeah, you said the Arnold Schwarzenegger with the Christmas colors, and I was like, oh yeah, it's Predator. You know,
Yeah, the colors is the thermal.
you know how Predator they see in thermal, and it's got all the colors. And I was like, yeah, that's Christmas. It's Christmas in Cambodia or wherever Predator wants. Sure. A jungled area. I was not incorrect.
But
we here at the Grand Slam care about geography just as much as the next people. Anyway, Edgar, Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger and comedy legend Sinbad.
yes, Sinbad's in this movie, and I've seen some of this movie before, but I've never seen it like from beginning to end. I've seen like the ending of the movie like multiple times, but I've only similar to a lot of Macaulay Culkin movies, I've usually seen a lot of this movie in Spanish. So watching this was the first time I was watching most of all of Jingle All the Way in Spanish. I mean in English. And you know, like when you hear Arnold like talk in English, it's like, okay, that's how he sounds. But like, you know, when he talks in Spanish, he sounds nothing like that. He sounds like it's very like, it's not like no, it doesn't sound like that. It's just like necesitamos sacar un juguete para mi niño. And so and it's like, that's not how Arnold sounds. Like now as I got older, I'm like, that's not how Arnold sounds.
Do it again. Tell us how Arnold doesn't sound and does sound in Spanish. I just really like it.
Hola, me llamo Arnold. Ahorita necesitamos salir al hospital. Necesito cargar un juguete para mi niño. Ay,
It's like they never got the. I was like, I wonder if they. It's like you never heard that from Arnold, and so when I saw like the English, I'm like, huh. You know, for the longest time as a kid, it's like you never heard like Arnold talk like that. It's always like this guy who has like a clean voice to speak in Spanish for Arnold doing like sub on him, and I'm like, huh.
God damn it, that's
Oh
funny.
my God, that's so funny. It's so funny.
So like when you so like keep in mind, if you watch like any Arnold Schwarzenegger movie in Spanish and you hear him talk in Spanish, it's like it's not what you expect. Where it's like, hola, me llamo Arnold. ¿Cómo estás? No, it's just like, hola, bienvenidos. Ahorita me vengo. Like that's how I saw Terminator in Spanish too.
Me llamo Turbo Man.
Yo soy Turbo Man. It's not like
me llamo Turbo Man. Necesito cargar un juguete. ¿Quién es tú? Sinbad? ¿Quién?
it's like
Oh my God. Edgar, can we just make this a bit? Can this just be one of our bits? Like in the future, you just narrating Arnold movies in Spanish. just dubbing it. Just like I'll be back.
I just go in and just dub every Arnold movie with that.
Soy Arnold. Me regreso más al rato.
Dun 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 dun.
I just imagine just one of them, like Edgar has been doing it like the Spanish Arnold Schwarzenegger thing for all of them, but then there's one where he just goes, the voice is like, hola, yo soy es un D800.
Like it's just Edgar turning into fucking what was that character, Slowpoke Rodriguez from the fucking Warner Brothers films?
I think
Like,
so.
like not Speedy Gonzalez, it's Slowpoke Rodriguez, his cousin, and you're just like, see, soy Arnold, like
Yo soy Arnold.
Órale, güey, yo soy Arnold.
What is this, a valley?
Yeah. Ah.
no.
No mames, sir. Puro 956, sir.
Arnold is from the valley.
Okay, that's the movie. That's the movie. Okay, that's the new mini episode. It's just if Arnold movies in Spanish, but they're all from the Valley, and just the best clips. And it's just
That's
Edgar.
gonna be very, very specific because like only people around here would get it.
And if other people don't understand our art, then they're not worthy of it, Robin.
Yeah.
You're in a garbage can. We can deserve to be picky.
We're in a garbage can for right now, Robin.
But soon
Anyway.
we'll be in the valley doing Arnold impressions in Spanish. And by we, I mean Edgar, and we're just there.
Oh, sorry.
Escúchame.
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 Okay, but we watched Jingle All the Way.
Yes.
This is a movie from my childhood. I used to watch
Same,
this
yeah.
all the time. All the time. I had it on VHS. I loved this movie.
I still have it on VHS. It's right. I'm looking at it right now.
I know, Robin. I've been to your house while you slept. Wait, what? But I just want to say one thing at the opening here. This movie, it's funnier because Sinbad's jokes are even funnier now that I understand what they mean.
Yeah.
For example, the cops are like arresting him, and no, he's being beaten up in the mall, and he just starts shouting Rodney King, and that was I didn't understand what that meant as a kid, but now I do.
I never.
That's hilarious.
I didn't think the longest time I didn't think he was saying Rodney King. I thought he was saying like his son's name was like Mickey or something like that. He was just saying my Mickey, like just like crying because he's like, oh, he's not gonna get the toy. But then no, like I had subtitles on because now I can understand what the fuck he's saying, and it's like, oh, he's saying Rodney King. That made me laugh really hard. Oh god, and then he was doing his whole rants on the fucking like toy industry at the beginning of the movie. You know it's all ploy, don't you?
Oh yeah.
A ploy. Man, don't you get it? Don't you watch TV? We are being sold by rival toy cartels. It's like, what the fuck?
But I will say, for me, when I grew, I didn't grow up with Jingle All the Way like you two, but as I just said, I've seen some of it when I was younger, through Spanish and like the Spanish channels. But now, like watching it from like beginning to end, I think, like the best way I could describe it, I think it's a cute movie to watch on Christmas. Like it's like you can watch it with everyone, the family. It's like an older movie. It's cheesy, yeah, but like it's that good kind of cheese where like, you know, it's Christmas and you watch it, like it's a good movie to watch on Christmas, you know?
I will say the one thing I don't like about this movie is the child actor. Well, because it's the same actor who plays young Anakin in Phantom Menace.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah, and like he was a little shit in that movie, and he's a little shit in this movie. I just never liked his acting. Like as a child actor, his acting was pretty fucking bad.
I mean, that's just like your opinion, man.
True that.
But like before we also have actors like the late Phil Hartman is in this movie.
Who's amazingly creepy.
Amazingly creepy and amazingly douchey.
Yeah. The whole movie I was like, this guy's like really creepy. The whole movie I was like,
Yeah, like I mean, he plays that role really well. I mean, if you've seen the movie Toy Soldiers, I think it's called.
Yeah, he's good in that one too.
Yeah, and like he plays the douchey husband or a neighbor in that one too. So I mean, yeah. So anyway,
Well, yeah, but in Toy Soldiers, he's douchey because he's like really rich.
Yeah.
Like it's like this game of keeping up with the Joneses, but like he's like, "Hey neighbor, do you mind if I just cut down your tree so I can get my 1990s giant satellite TV thing set up?" Where it's a satellite that's like NASA's using that satellite in that. We're talking about Jingle All the Way, not Toy Soldiers. Anyway,
Yeah.
But yes, Phil Hartman did his part amazingly.
yeah,
Also, I didn't know Jim Belushi was in this movie.
yeah, he was the Santa.
Yeah. And also, there's the big Santa, the big one.
Yeah.
That is Big Show, the WWE.
I knew it. This whole time when I saw that scene, I'm like, he looks familiar. The big, like the giant like Santa that fights Arnold in that scene where he goes to that cult looking warehouse of Santa people. I was like, who is that? I'm like, I feel like I've seen that guy before. I'm like, especially how he talks. And now you brought like that makes so much sense.
I was watching I was rewatching it and I didn't like this is the first time I was watching it like on Amazon Prime, so it has the actor trivia thing happening at the same time, and that was the first time I found out that was Big Show, and I was like, oh shit, what the fuck? I didn't know that.
Yeah, so, apparently like Jingle All The Way is like almost like everywhere. Like where to watch it. Like I was like, where can I watch the movie? Because I know you said to watch it on Amazon. I'm like, I did, and that's where I watched it. But apparently, you could watch it on Tubi, Hulu, Disney Plus, and I was like, wow.
Yeah, it's a popular Christmas movie.
I thought it was a Disney movie. It isn't. Like I thought it was a Disney movie this whole time.
Well, it has since
1992.
It has since become one. Because it's made by Fox, 20th Century Fox. So technically, it's now a Disney movie.
Yeah.
So this movie starts with it's Christmas month. It's close to Christmas Day. I'm not sure when exactly it is, but
it's Christmas. It's the day before Christmas Eve, but technically it starts with It starts off like a Power Rangers episode with Turbo Man and his sidekick, the pink dog.
Buster.
Buster, there you go.
Booster.
Booster. It's Booster. It's Booster. Yeah.
Booster.
Well, okay, you know what? It doesn't actually matter in the end because everybody fucking hates Booster.
Yeah.
I mean, you have all the kids beating the shit out of the guy in the costume.
By the guy who's totally not Gilbert Gottfried.
No, it's not Gilbert Gottfried. It's the other guy.
Yeah, he has a similar
Revenge
voice.
of the Nerds.
Yeah.
Revenge of the Nerds. He's also in Supernatural. He plays Metatron, not Megatron. These are different things. But no, he's a pretty good actor. Anyway, I forgot he was in there. I'm sweating like a dog in this suit.
I know you.
Hello.
You're Booster.
Hi.
Yeah, and who the hell do you think you are? Mary Poppins?
Yeah. Take the thing. Wait, the kids. Hello. Hi. I'm Bargain Ben Gilbert Gottfried.
So it starts with
anyway.
Anakin is watching this show, and he's getting super excited because he's a kid. He saves the day, and then we cut to Arnold Schwarzenegger at his office. There's a Christmas party happening.
Selling beds.
Mattresses.
They're selling beds. Mattresses. Arnold Schwarzenegger sells mattresses in this movie. You're my number one customer. You're my number one customer.
And then,
I'm gonna. Sorry, Robin. I keep jumping over you.
No, that's fine.
The funny thing about the build-up here is that, Arnold Schwarzenegger, his character's this workaholic and he's never there, right? He sells mattresses. I'm sorry. How 90s is this? That would be like he sells pagers. He's a very important businessman. He sells mattresses. What?
Okay.
we can order that online. You can Amazon a mattress. Like, you don't need Arnold's character anymore. Anyway, Robin, please continue.
Well, so the son is a part of like a karate thing. I don't I don't know if it was a belt ceremony, I think that they were about to do.
Yeah.
And so the wife calls Arnold saying like Howard, that's his name. That's the character's name. So the wife calls Howard and was telling him, "Hey, where are you? You got to get here for Jamie's birthday or Jamie's karate thing." And he's like, "Don't worry, I'll be there. And remember, you're my number one customer."
You're my number one customer. I'm going to be there for Anakin's belt ceremony. Hurry.
Anyways, so he leaves late, and he's trying to get to his kid's karate tournament thing. I don't know what it is. Like it is a belt ceremony, right? Like, is that what it's officially called?
I think so. I don't know the proper term or name for like those kind of like those karate stuff, because it was.
You do karate stuff. You should know this stuff.
Yeah,
you're a black belt, right?
Yeah, I'm totally. I mean, I don't wear belts, but I mean,
I don't wear belts, but I'm totally a black belt. And I like how it just took us a bit.
Okay, so I'll just continue this while they die amongst a belt joke. He says, I'm going to make it to the belt ceremony. And his secretary is like not having it. She's seen this show before. She's like, no, you're not, Howard. You're always late. You're always complaining about your wife complaining to you about being late. But you know what? I hope you make it. And he runs out the door and goes, I'm going to make it. And she's like, he's not going to make it. And you know what? Lorraine was right. He didn't.
Yes.
Because traffic was terrible. And so he thought, hey, I'm going to cheat the system. I'm going to be the asshole who drives on the shoulder.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then
a
cop gets him. And you know what? I was happy. I was like, you know what? Good. I'm glad the cop got you because you're the asshole who was driving on the shoulder. Arnold's defense for driving on the shoulder like an asshole was, I have to make it to my kid's karate ceremony. The cop makes him get out of the car and do a field sobriety test. It's the funniest thing ever. just
recite the alphabet. A, B, C, backwards.
Okay.
It's like,
I'm not gonna lie, sober I couldn't do the alphabet backwards sober. I'd be like,
sober is even sober. Yeah, it's still hard to do that.
I can't even do that. It's like, what the hell? It's like if they ask you that question, like, how the hell can you do that?
I can't even do my regular ABCs.
I can't read.
So he does that whole thing with the cop, and then he eventually gets to the place, and everybody's gone. My man's had he didn't get there in time, and he said, I didn't make it. Yeah, he sure didn't make
it. That's what Lorraine said was going to happen. I trust Lorraine.
Yep.
By the way, the secretary is unnamed in this entire movie. I'm just assuming her name is Lorraine. It could be Sheila or Meg?
Meg?
Maybe? Meg?
Shut up, Meg.
Shut up, Meg. Shut up, Meg. You aren't even named in this movie.
How we're introduced to Phil Hartman's character. So at the karate thing, we meet Phil Hartman's character because he's one of the parents that's up in the stands, and he's videotaping the thing. And all of the women who are in the neighborhood were giving him like all this treats and stuff because I think he thinks that they all have some kind of like major crush on him.
No, I think they do.
Oh, okay.
Like,
so they're just
okay.
Well, he's the D4C or D4. He's divorced.
He's divorced.
Yeah.
But like okay, maybe I'm reading too much into this, Robin. I think he's having affairs with those women.
I would believe you, honestly.
Yeah. I think he's having affairs with them, and I think they showed their appreciation for these affairs by giving him baked goods.
Oh, these cookies!
Yeah.
It kind of makes sense because it kind of makes sense because like when he's there recording the video, say during the karate stuff, it just seemed like he was having affairs with all these women.
But he didn't love any of them. He just had affairs with them. He wanted Arnold Schwarzenegger's wife. What was her name?
I don't. Lily. That was her name. It was Lily.
Right, Lily Potter, who married James Potter, and they had a child named Harry.
I think it's
Liz, because here on the IMDb it says Liz.
Yes, it's Liz.
Yeah,
Liz.
Anyway,
Liz, hi, honey. How are you? That's what I was trying to remember. I was trying to remember that opening bit. Anyway, so we met. That's how we meet Phil Hartman's character. Cut back to a little later when Arnold Schwarzenegger makes it home, and you see Phil Hartman, and he's like, "Well, what are you doing up there? Why are you doing on my house? Like, why are you doing that?" And he's like, "Well, you're not doing it, so I'm gonna do it. Fuck you, Arnold Schwarzenegger." Those were the exact lines. Phil Hartman straight up said "fuck you" to Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh.
And he was And
then he just told him to screw off, and he just
Disney film now.
Like, you can tell that Arnold does not like Phil, and he has a right to not like him, because he's a fucking creep. So he's like saying like, I know that you missed the karate tournament, but don't worry, I got it all on video tape for you. Like, what would I ever do without you? And then I thought this was really funny because was after he said, what could I do without you? He has his fake smile and he just goes to just scowling for like 5 seconds. And it's like, why are you staring at him like that for so long? Like, you're so angry. Like, I get it, you don't like the guy, but like,
Here was the subtext. You missed it, but Arnold Schwarzenegger in that 5 seconds of scowling, the inner monologue which they removed was, "I'm going to push you off my roof. You're going to break your neck. I'm going to stand over your body." Like, that was the subtext.
I am going to send your body through the barren wasteland of Mars, so you die from. That's Total Recall reference I'm trying to make.
Total Recall.
And that's a reference
to when we first, all three of us had our first. It was our first review with all three of us.
Yeah. Go back and watch that one. It's good. I was there. I totally remember that.
Since this is being recorded, you can watch that right here in the top right corner.
Yeah.
Edgar, can we do that? Do we have the ability to link that?
Yes.
Oh my God! Look at us actually being YouTubers. I mean, anyway, Jingle All The Way. So hey, make sure you like and subscribe. Smash that like button. Ring the bell, dude.
Oh, but that reminds me, you did get the doll, right? As Liz said to her husband, because
Right.
that's
Turbo.
what Anakin really wants.
Right,
Yeah,
and you have to
he
keep
was like-
Anakin happy, or else he kills the younglings.
Yeah.
Anakin Skywalker.
That's why he's so pissed at his dad for not making it to the thing. So then he's trying to make it up to him by like, what do you want for more than anything in the world? And he's like, I want the Turbo Man action figure with the I don't remember exactly saying. All I know is he mentions the golden boomerang, and then he has this one thing. He says it's turbo time. Accessories not something. Batteries not included.
Batteries.
Yeah.
And yeah, so then Liz is like, did you get the fucking doll or no? And he's like, yeah, I totally did. I'm gonna go pick it up tomorrow because I got it on layaway. Fuck, I didn't fucking buy it.
He's like, oh shit,
So
fuck.
he goes to pick it up, and that's when we meet Sin.
Yes, cuts to next day, where also really quick before we cut to Sinbad, Arnold does the most dad thing ever, where like his son is asking him like that, telling him about like, hey, there's this parade that happens every year, and we're all like, are you gonna go to it? Well, you didn't go last year, but this year Turbo Man's gonna be there. And then this is the most dad thing that Arnold's ever done. It's like, oh yeah, it's Turbo time. Like, just like, that's something that a fucking white dad would do, trying to get along with his son. Like, I'm hip. I'm down with what the kids are into these days.
Hello, fellow young people.
Hello, fellow
Oh,
youngsters.
My name
Excuse me, sir. I speak jive.
Hey, so now we cut to Sinbad. This is where we lead up to meet Sinbad, which is they're all waiting outside of a store, and we meet a postman guy who starts talking to him. I forgot what his Myron, like his first name is Myron. Yeah.
His name is Myron.
Yeah. And he starts talking to him about, like, you know, oh yeah, you're here to get the thing too, yeah. And then he starts going on in his whole conspiracy theories about the toy industry. He's like, you know, it's all a ploy, don't you? Ploy. Man, what are you doing? Don't you watch TV? We are in the midst of powerful toy cartels. Oh, come on. They're always sitting. You always have to try to go. Being a postman, you go home to your wife that's banging everybody but me. And when you get the toy, it breaks it. Just taking all this little cheap plastic. You know what I do when I see those people? I'm gonna grab them. And she grabs somebody and starts threatening them. And he's just going ape. And like he's almost about to like go to get himself into jail just for a fucking Turbo Man.
Oh my
and
God.
it's just so fucking crazy. Like I never thought I would ever laugh at a Sinbad performance because I was like, nah, he's fucking funny in this. I enjoyed him.
Sinbad.
Like even Will's laughing really hard.
Funny in it. He's so funny in this movie. Like, I thought he was funny when I was young. It's so funny now because like it's the real subtle things that you don't get as a kid. Like, these toy companies, they're all in it together. They're fucking cartels. They do the commercials for the kids so that the kids drive you crazy. And if you don't get the toy, and on my fucking salary, I ain't getting this goddamn toy. I couldn't get it 3 months ago. I just got paid, so I got to get this toy now. But there ain't any, and the price went up. And if I don't get it, I'm a failure as a father. And it's like, damn, that's some heavy shit though, because that's rantings of a crazy man that lives on the corner and has a tinfoil hat. But it's also a little bit true, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not everybody can be Arnold selling mattresses in the 90s. Somebody's got to be a postman.
But then like they go in the shops and like all the Turbo Mans are sold out, and they have that scene where he's all like, I'm looking for the Turbo Man toy because I need it for my kid, and then all the employees just laugh at him and everyone in the whole store laughs like, they're all sold out. That was like
fun fact. One of those employees is a very young, I forget his name, but he was on SNL.
Yeah. It's the guy who plays Cyril Figgis in Archer. He also plays Jerry in Rick and Morty, the dad.
Oh damn! Really? That guy? I don't know. I can't remember his name, but I know who you're talking about.
Want to Google that? If you Google it, you'll probably. Hey, if you're watching this video right now, why don't you just go down there into the comment section and comment who the fuck plays Cyril Figgis and what's his name, the dad from that Rick and Morty show. Just say who it is and don't like the video. Anyway, so we introduced to him, and he laughs at Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad, being like, "Hey, you can't get that toy. That toy is gone. Everybody bought that toy, but you can have Booster. Man, nobody likes Booster. Exactly. Nobody likes Booster.
Yeah.
They don't like Booster at all.
And to be honest, Booster looks like Barney the dinosaur and a walrus had a love child with a mammoth, and it's just bad.
And Booster's supposed to be like the sidekick to Turbo Man?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm like, the whole time he kind of just looked more like a Power Rangers villain than, a sidekick for Turbo Man. So it kind of makes sense why the kids were all like, yes, fuck this piece of shit Booster guy. and then they just, because at the end they just literally kicked the shit out of him.
Yeah. Well, so they tell him that's essentially what this movie is. It's just like a lot of it's just really the same. A lot of the same stuff. It's like, oh, I have to go to this store. Oh shit, they don't have it. I'm gonna get into a crazy shenanigan. That includes Sinbad.
Yeah.
All in the meantime,
That's the
Phil.
movie.
Yeah, I mean,
thank you. Well, we're done, folks. That's the movie.
obviously, there's there are details in it, but it's just like essentially that's just basically the whole thing is that he keeps going, to different places to try to get it. And meanwhile, Phil Hartman is trying to feel up his wife,
okay, real quick on that note. In the process of trying to get Arnold Schwarzenegger's wife, Liz, he got a reindeer
for some reason.
For some reason for Christmas, and then Arnold Schwarzenegger's like, "What the fuck are you gonna do with this reindeer? Like, you bought a reindeer. What are you gonna do with it?" And his answer is, "Well, I've been going to the park recently, and I've seen a bunch of deer there, and I'm gonna let him go." You can't just let a reindeer go. That's not okay. That's
Nope.
an animal that doesn't live here. You saw it in a park. What are you thinking?
Yeah.
Anyway, so just logistically, that's a terrible idea. Phil Hartman, what are you going to do with that reindeer? Anyway, the reindeer hates Arnold Schwarzenegger. Probably his aftershave, which is the joke, right? But at one point in the movie, this reindeer tries to kill Arnold Schwarzenegger, and then Arnold Schwarzenegger just punches it in the face, and it gets knocked out. It gets knocked out, and then, like 2 scenes later, he's drinking with the reindeer. He's pouring beer into a bowl for the reindeer. The reindeer's getting drunk. Arnold Schwarzenegger's a little drunk, and he's like, "All right, buddy, I gotta go. I'll give you one more." And he pours him another beer, and he just walks off. And the reindeer's just like belching. And I'm like, this is funny. This is a good bit, but there's no why. Who does this? Phil Hartman. That's who.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is another thing about Myron is that we're kind of jumping around at this point now. We were kind of going,
chronologically,
not scene by scene, but yeah, chronologically. We were going chronologically, but it kind of turned into let's jump around a bit. But one thing to mention, because a lot of it is just the same thing. I mean, so that part we mentioned about at the very, very beginning of the whole podcast where we mentioned Myron was saying Rodney King.
Yeah.
The end of that's so pretty much at the end of that scene. So that whole scene is they're giving away Turbo Man, but it's through a ball, like a raffle, and you have to get a rubber ball. And because capitalism exists, they decided we're gonna raise the price on the Turbo Man because of supply and demand, which is horseshit. But
we like to call that price gouging.
Yeah. And I think they're supposed to be what the company's supposed to be is a Toys R Us type store. So it's kind of like that's
Toys R Us. A moment of silence.
Well, I mean, they're kind of coming back apparently. They're opening
I think they got
stores
bought
up again.
They got bought by Macy's, didn't they?
Yeah, they're opening stores again. So it's not. It was dead. Now it came back to life. Yeah. So it's back.
Are you telling me that Toys R Us is zombie Toys R Us? I hope the giraffe's back, but zombie.
Zombie. Yeah.
Like a zombie.
I think it is.
Boys brains.
I think it is, but yeah, it's just I say zombie. I think they're really I think they're gonna switch to. They're gonna have a couple stores open, and they're really gonna focus on the online shopping aspect. So, which makes sense to do that, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, so
back to Jingle All The Way.
So the balls are going. The balls have been thrown everywhere, and all the customers are going apeshit. And one of the balls is going throughout the entire what seems to be the Mall of America. Because of I say that because it has the amusement park inside the mall, and I think that's in the the Mall of America up in the Midwest. I
Well,
forgot which state it's in.
Well, didn't they show the store and it said Mall of America?
Okay, so then it is there.
Oh, wait.
Well,
You know what would have been funny if they weren't allowed to use the phrase Mall of America, so it had to be like Mall of the United States. Like Mall of the United States of America. It's like, no, it says America, they can't use that. It's like, oh shit. Mall of the Canadian border?
yeah, we'll allow it.
Mall.
So then he gets he's going through a chase sequence to get the ball, and he gets the ball. Well, kinda. He gets close to the ball, and there's this. It's in a children's ball pit, where a little girl grabbed the ball that Arnold was chasing after, and so Arnold's business tactics take over, and it's like, hey, I got this shiny red ball. Do you want to trade? You want to make a trade? and he keeps bringing up the Dow Jones and all that stuff, and it's just it's not.
Anyway, as all business deals end, a whole pack of mothers start beating him because he's a pervert.
And
they start accusing him of being a pervert, and he goes, "I'm not a pervert. I need the ball because I need the doll.
I'm not a pervert. I just needed to get the Turbo Man doll." And then enter Jim Belushi. Hey, you want a Turbo Man for Christmas? Oh, there's no way I'm sitting on your lap. Hey, that's not my bag. Get it? I didn't get it.
I don't understand your humor. I'm from Austria. We don't have humor there.
It doesn't exist.
Then and then he follows the Mr. Mystery Santa Claus guy, and they go into this cult-like Santa Claus factory.
It's not a cult. It's more. It's a crime syndicate. Is what they're trying to make it. It's a.
I just say it like that because that's what it just looks like. It's just a bunch of them just all like, yeah, we're making this. We're making fake toys.
Oh, that's the multilingual. It's fun and educational.
Look at me. We make fake toys, and then Arnold gets mad because he's like,
you guys are frauds. I thought you guys cared about Christmas.
And then he calls them the frauds or something like that, and he's all like,
"They call them con men, thugs, criminals. In the North Pole, them are fighting words. Put them up.
Put them
up.
Put them up.
Chick.
Yeah. The entire fight scene of Santa's like fighting Arnold Schwarzenegger, and then the Big Show comes out. And for everybody out there, this is the 90s. This was WCW Big Show, so he was the giant then, right? Sorry, there's a little wrestling history. So he was the giant. He was in shape. He was like barrel-chested. He didn't have a gut. Big Show looked good. And like, he's just like, oh, hi, brother. Like he's
I'm gonna deck your halls, bub.
Yeah. And like goes to Arnold goes to punch him or something, and Big Show like catches his fist and is like or something like that. And then this little person Santa jumps on him and is like pulling his hair, and Arnold ducks and Big Show punches, but he punches the little person who goes flying across the room, and Big Show's line is "little buddy." It made me feel kind of bad, to be honest. I was like, "Aw, he called him little buddy."
Was that Vern Troyer or like?
No,
that
I think it was just a different little person.
Oh, really? Okay. It kind of looked like he had the same face. That's why I was wondering if that was Vern Troyer. But
no, I don't think it was. You know what? We could probably. I mean, we might be able to look that up. Hey, everybody! If you know who the little Santa was in the fight scene in Jingle All The Way, let us know in the comments. But I think it might have just been a bit actor.
Let me see. I'm looking this up. Yep. Yeah, no, it was Vern Troyer.
Oh, it was. Wow.
Yeah, it was his third movie.
Oh.
Wow, that's amazing.
So,
well, now we know. So anyway, the police come. They bust up the underground Santa Claus crime syndicate of toy makers, and then Arnold's able to get out because he grabs a fake bag and says, I've been undercover this is a sloppy entrance. The commissioner's going to have a field day. And then he just leaves. And as he's walking out, he's like, do something, go arrest some people. And they're like, yeah, I got it. Yeah, get over here. And then he just leaves. He just fucks off. And I'm like, that's hijinks. That's so good.
So yeah, he then goes to a diner to drink his sorrows away because he just realized, I don't think I'm ever gonna get a Turbo Man. Meets Myron. Then they both have a heart to heart, like they're at peace briefly, and apparently the radio goes on, and the radio personality is like, hey, you want a Turbo Man? Well, you may eventually get one, but they didn't hear that apparently. So then they were like, if you can recite the Santa's reindeer, then you could get this award. And Arnold tries to call him, but then there's a whole fight between him and Sinbad, and he finally gets over there and breaks into the radio station basically, and the radio guy's like calling the cops because it's like, hey, there's a fucking madman breaking into my studio.
You think we have a Turbo Man doll here in the studio? Yes, that's what you said on the radio. No. That's not what I said. That's not what I said at all. I said if you knew the answer, you could get a Turbo Man doll. We do not have a Turbo Man doll. When they all get back in stock, I have a gift certificate for you. Sinbad, coming in right behind him, goes, a gift certificate?
One of my favorite bits was that, so that whole time, Myron even had, like, he said that he had an explosive device, because this is around the time when the whole Unabomber shit was happening too. So he was mentioning, like, no, like, I got this this bomb, and it's like, you got a bomb? In layman terms, yes, it's a bomb.
And then it turns out to be a bomb.
Well, he says that he has a bomb, and like, he's like, he keeps like ranting about stuff. And one of the funny things was like, he mentioned something about like wearing knee socks and shorts, and people always laughing me about that. Then the radio personality chuckles a bit, and he's like, "Are you laughing at me? What? No. You know what, Mr. Radio Man? I know you. You're the type of person who leaves the trash can out next to the mailbox. No, I don't. I recycle. Shut up. Yeah, shut up." Like Arnold tells him to shut up.
No, I don't. I recycle.
Shut up.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, shut up. Yeah, shut up. And then the cops show up, and they both have to run out. And Sinbad knocks fucking Arnold into this. Again, we're going to be dated here. Oh. Wall of tapes.
Yeah.
Of tapes.
Really quick. And it turns out that one bomb that Myron had was just a music box. Anyway, then he had another package because Myron was surrounded by the cops, and he apparently had another explosive device, and then he left it behind and he walked away, thinking like, oh no, he doesn't think it was an actual bomb. He was just bluffing, like the first one. And the cop from the same cop that gave Arnold a ticket was happened to be in charge of that operation, I guess, or happened to be part of that same squad that was answering to the call. Anyway, so he goes up to try to check the bomb because he was on the bomb squad, and he was checking it and shaking it, and then he says, "Gentlemen, we've been duped. It's just nothing but a simple, ordinary Christmas package." Rips it open. It cuts to Arnold being outside of the building. You just hear an explosion happen. Just see Arnold's face, like, oh my god. Cuts to Myron. You see from the explosion, you see the doors swinging back and forth. He's like, there really was a bomb. This is a sick world we're living. Sick people.
Yeah.
I remember when I saw that, I was like, oh, he got away with a fake bomb, and then when it exploded, I'm like, oh my god, it was a real bomb. What the fuck?
And like in reality, that cop would have been dead, but because it's a children's movie, he survived the cartoon way. So
all of them survived the cartoon way.
Yeah. How many years on the bomb squad?
Yeah.
Then he falls backwards. He did get bandages on his hand, as we see later on in the movie.
Mhm.
Speaking of
Everything-
later on in the movie, so right around the part where the reindeer gets punched in the face by Arnold, Arnold comes back home because he feels like, oh, I'm defeated. I'm not going to be able to get it. I'm going to have to just face the music and tell them that I wasn't able to get it. And he then remembered what Phil Hartman said was that, yeah, I got my son Terrible Man months ago. It's nestled safely under our tree. Nestled safely
Under our tree. Under our tree.
So then he
And Arnold thinks, oh my goodness, I could go into the house and I could steal that gift. Pretty much, that's how Arnold talks, right? You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's about to take the gift, and then he's like, wait, I'm taking a gift from a child? No, I can't do this. And then he gets caught because I think a fire starts or something like that. I can't remember exactly.
Yeah,
how he got caught.
the house gets
Well,
on fire.
in the bedlam of the reindeer attacking him, he knocks over a Santa, which knocks over a wise man, which the head falls off the wise man and goes
Specifically
to the fireplace.
Specifically at what?
And
Balthazar.
the wise man Balthazar. And by the way, just as a tip out there, Phil Hartman's character left his home with a fire burning in the fireplace.
Yeah.
You shouldn't do that. You should always monitor fires and flames in the home because sometimes Arnold Schwarzenegger will break into your house to steal your child's gift, and you don't know what bedlam could happen.
Yep. Don't be like Phil.
Don't be like Phil.
Nine out of 10 fires in the home are because of Arnold Schwarzenegger. And Richard
fire-
Nixon said in Futurama, roughing up the place.
If a fire ever happens because of a fireplace, it's because of Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's exactly what it is.
9 times out of 10.
Yeah,
The
it's
other
not-
one
it's-
is birds.
You think forest fires did the fire at your house? No, it was Arnold.
No.
It's been Arnold. Always been Arnold.
Yeah. So Phil Hartman and Arnold Schwarzenegger's wife come in because they saw Balthazar's head outside aflame, and they come in and it's like, oh, you're trying to take Johnny's Turbo Man, aren't you? And he's like, it's not what it looks like. I was going to, but I was gonna put it back. And he's like, yeah, the wife's like, don't even bother coming to the parade because I don't want to see you right now. And then they both walk out, both the wife and Phil Hartman, because Phil Hartman said that he would take the wife and the kids to the parade. And Phil Hartman just says like, you can't bench press your way out of this one.
Which is honestly a good line. That's fine.
So then we had the part where Arnold punches the reindeer in the face and then gives beer to the reindeer. Then he's like, wait, I know what I can do. I'll try. I need to go make amends with my wife. And then he drives over to the parade. Also, there was this one line that kind of made me like, they're really trying to push the Turbo Man thing, because like when he's in the cab and he's about to like the traffic is backed up, he's like, do you think you could try to go a different way to get there faster? And then the cab driver's like, well, I don't know what to tell you. This whole place is backed up because of the parade. Turbo Man's gonna be there. Okay. Why does the cab driver care? That's the part that didn't make any sense to me. Is that, oh man, the cab driver must really like Turbo Man to be mentioning, hey, Turbo Man's gonna be there.
Well, I mean, to be fair, the entire movie, everyone seems like they know who Turbo Man is because they're all trying to get the Turbo Man toy.
Well, I mean, I could understand like the hot toy, but like, and being like, oh yeah, no, yeah, I know about it because my son likes it, but I don't know too much about the show and all that. So it's not like it's going to be a constant thing that everybody's going to be talking about. That's why it doesn't make any sense.
Not for nothing, Robin, but everybody likes a muscled man in a tight suit.
Yeah.
I mean, Will's not wrong.
No, he's not.
I mean, how do you think superheroes are existing?
Tell me I'm wrong.
So
Hey, in the comment section, if y'all haven't already told us who played the little Santa or the other stupid fucking thing that I said, to do, type in your favorite superhero and a timed outfit. Okay, thanks, cool, awesome. The parade, they let there's flares and stuff like all parades have. They just let the kids get out of the car and just like go hang out with so and so and his dad.
I mean,
Okay,
they must have. I mean, they
what?
like knew them from school or something. But
Yeah, but like we're not introduced to these people ever, so it's like, oh hey, there's like Timmy and his dad. Can we go? Yeah, sure, I guess. And don't run off. And it's like, this is the '90s. Like, if this was like 1 year later in the '90s, that would have been like, oh, you've just abandoned your children, stranger danger. Like, like someone could just be like, hi, I'm taking you home. Like, what are you doing? You're not Timmy and or his dad. Like. It was just like,
Who
there
are
are people
you?
at this fucking parade. Walk them to Timmy and or his dad. Like, come on. Anyway, and then like cut to Arnold like walking down the street, and he bumps yet again into the cop who is carrying coffee, bumps into him, knocks him down, and the cop spills hot coffee all over his recently burned hands, and the chase begins. And and the cops running after Arnold, being like, "Stop that man! I gave him a ticket, and then he burned my hands." And like he goes through buses, through people, the cops on his tail finding him, and then like goes into a warehouse where he thinks he's safe, and the cop doesn't see him and he leaves. And then the production director for this parade finds him, and he's going, "Are you the guy?" He's like, "What? Oh, good, we found the guy." And then they start to take all of his clothes off, and they're going, these are the 3 buttons you got to press. This is the thing you got to do. The guy's got brain activity. That's really good. And anyway, but we think you're going to do just fine. And thanks again for taking over. And Arnold's just like, well, and he's in the Turbo Man outfit.
yeah,
And
and
cut to Booster going, "Hey, I've been sweating like a dog for 3 hours."
I know you. You're Booster. Yeah, and who the hell do you think you are? Mary Poppins? And then he cuts to him like coming up from the float. He starts waving at people because he's like, "Oh shit, I look really fucking cool." And he starts waving at people, and then it turns out that they're gonna be giving away a Turbo Man action figure to any lucky kid in the audience. And so they just so happen to be by where his son is. So he's just like, oh, he points at Anakin and is like, I'm picking you. And then he's like, Jamie! It's like, oh, he knows my name! Oh my god! I'd be freaking out too.
Yeah, if I were a kid and I saw like a superhero that I watched as a kid and grew up with, yeah, I'd be freaking out if he knew my name. Like, he knew my name? Whoa!
So he goes up to get his Turbo Man doll, and he's like, "How do you know my name?" He's like, "Well, I'm actually." And then right before he's about to do that, all of a sudden, fucking Sinbad shows up in the Dementor, or whatever the hell the costume's called.
Okay, but there's a scene. The guy in the Booster costume's like, "Hey, be on your toes. My mentor is gonna be here in a minute." And he's like, "What?" Cut to Sinbad knocking out the guy in the Mementor like outfit, tying him up with a red tree garland, and he's just in his union suit, like, the long johns, and he put on the outfit, and he slides down a wire, and he's like, "Man, I'm gonna take your doll," and like it's like Sinbad, like it's just so dumb. And then Sinbad knocks the hell out of Booster and says, "Shut up, Booster, nobody likes you." Knocks him to the ground, and all of the town's kids come to beat up Booster because nobody likes him. And they're beating this man with sticks and candy canes and their fists, and all of the parents agree that nobody likes Booster, so nobody helped them. Nobody helped Booster. He was at he was at the disposal of these children to beat to death. We assume.
We assume. Most likely they did. The kids really hated Booster, and they're like, "We hate you, you piece of shit! Fuck off!" And the parents are like, "Oh, look at the kids! They're beating up the worst character in the Turbo Man series."
Just like when
And Phil Hartman's character, Phil Hartman's character is in the background. You can't see him; it's on a scripted line, but he's just going, Well, I remember the first time I had beat up a cartoon character I hated, and that's fine. It's a tradition.
Phil Hartman is like going full on creepo on his on Arnold's wife at this point.
Oh yeah,
He was being
in the car. They're in the car, and Phil Hartman's character is just being like, well, Liz, I think it's time that we are honest about our feelings. And Liz is just like, feelings? Yes, Liz, it all started at the 4th of July barbecue. You asked me how to marinate ahi tuna, and I told you all you needed was a little French dressing. And I've loved you ever since. And like goes in to kiss her, and she like knocks the piss out of him, and he spills knocks eggnog. It's a thermos of eggnog. Beats him in the face once with eggnog, a canister of eggnog. Breaks his glasses. Eggnog's all over him, and he goes, "Well, that did not turn out as I expected." Oh, Phil Hartman's character, he does it so well. Like the timing, the inflection, it's just so good.
Yeah. He plays a really good creepy guy. Creepy. And so, they continue back to the Turbo Man. They're like, the son's like, "Turbo Man, you gotta use your flying disc thingies." And then he uses them, and he hits Sinbad multiple times with the discs. And then he literally chases the kid up the stairs up like the ladders to the roof of like this building. And the mom is going to chase the son because she sees her son's getting attacked by some random stranger in a costume. And the cop's like, "No, ma'am, don't worry. You're fine. It's just, it's just part of the show." And she's like, in my mind, it's like, "Motherfucker, my son's not part of the damn show." And he's like, "Oh." And then she was trying to go save her son, but the cop's like, "No, don't worry, it's just part of the show." And he's like, "What the fuck you talking about?"
You see, the cop was a big Turbo Man fan, so he was like, "No, don't worry, Turbo Man's gonna save the day there, lady. Turbo Man's the biggest, baddest, rootin' tootin'est, best superhero we got in these here parts.
He's got the super wing, so he could fly over there, eh? He's also got the super funny discs. He's epic funny. He's gonna save the day.
Epic funny, yeah.
Epic funny lols."
Oh gosh, I wish I were him.
Oh god.
Oh gosh, I wish I were epic funny lols.
Gosh.
Oh crap! I wish I were him. He can fly. He's like a bird. Anyway, so the kid, Anakin Skywalker doesn't know how to use Force Jump yet, so he's running around, and he's up on the roof. Yeah, he doesn't know how to use Force Jump yet, so he's just up on the roof. And Sinbad's like, "I got you, kid. Give me the damn doll." And he's like, "No, fucking the Turbo Man will save me. Turbo Man will save me." He was just this was early Darth Vader, right? So he starts climbing the tree. Starts climbing the tree that's on this roof, and then the tree, it's parallel to the ground, and they are hanging off of it. And I just want to say that both Sinbad and Anakin have very good grip strength because they are holding onto this tree for a long time. And Anakin's just like, "Save me, Turbo Man!" And Arnold Schwarzenegger goes, "Oh, I can use the jetpack. The jetpack stuff's really cool, and except for the fact that Arnold doesn't know how to use it. So he flies around aimlessly, just circles, goes up to the moon, goes through a building through the windows, ruining a family's Christmas dinner because they're going. The father is literally sitting down saying, "Let's say grace," and then boom, Turbo Man comes flying through. Don't worry though, everybody. He saves the kid and gets the doll back.
Indeed. He gets the doll back, and he's like,
I got you, kid. I saved you. I saved you.
Also, I'm your dad.
"You're my dad? Turbo Man, you're my dad?"
Yes, I'm your father. Get
Yeah.
it? Get it? Because I'm Darth Vader.
"No, you're not Darth Vader, I am."
I don't seem to get it. Don't seem to get it.
"No, I don't seem to get it. I'm not."
You're going to be Darth Vader one day. Don't worry.
I'm gonna burp.
Bleh.
It's like he's about to burp.
Arnold's about to take a big
No, I
fat
don't
burp.
have to burp. I got some indigestion. It's just some indigestion. I had a spicy pierogi.
I had a spicy pierogi.
I've been looking for this doll. I needed a spicy pierogi just to get me through the day with a little coffee. A little coffee is all I wanted.
Dude, poggers.
Epic poggers.
Anyway, so
Like and subscribe.
he's like he then reveals that Arnold reveals that he's the dad. That he's the he reveals that he's
On this very special episode of Mari, who is the father? I'm the father, Mori. It's my son. He's Anakin. He's a good boy. I'm going to abandon him with my brother, and he's going to live on a little dust planet for a long time, and nothing bad could happen. Don't put him around younglings.
and so
I've
he's like,
seen this. He was in daycare. He killed a child. Don't put him near the younglings.
Wait, what are you saying, Robin?
well, I was gonna say, so he's like, so Arnold is like, okay, like I thought you wanted Jamie decides to give the Turbo Man doll to Myron, and so then that way Myron's son could be happy, and Arnold's like, well, I thought that's all you wanted, and he was like, well, why would I want it? I have the real Turbo Man at home now because of the costume,
Yeah.
and everything ends up being all right, and then they all died.
I mean, except for the fact that there's no way Myron doesn't go to jail. Myron's going to jail.
Yes.
I mean, that is true, because it's like, he basically said he had a bomb, and then the bomb did happen.
Yeah.
And he attempted to kidnap a child.
Yeah. He also tied up a man. he
Yeah.
assaulted somebody and stole their fucking costume. Yeah.
And he assaulted Booster. Well, no one gives a shit about Booster.
Yeah, that they don't
Um,
care. They were like, he could just, he could do whatever. Yeah.
So that's the movie Jingle All the Way.
That
Well,
was
oh, wait,
Jingle.
did y'all not wait till the end scene? Did you see the end scene?
The
The end scene?
Yeah, y'all didn't watch the end scene, did you?
Oh.
If you waited till after the credits, there is an MCU end scene where Arnold, and I'm not even joking, there's actually an end scene. There's an end scene, but it's like
I remember.
the end scene is like Arnold and Liz in the living room, and there's the tree, and everything's good, and Liz turns to Arnold and is like, hey, so I just want to say, like, everything's great, I love you so much, and you went through all that trouble to get Anakin Skywalker a toy, and I just have to wonder, what did you get me? And then Arnold just turns straight to the camera and goes, oh, and that's the end. Like, he just goes, oh no, fuck, shit, I didn't get her anything, shit.
Okay, I think I remember seeing that, but in Spanish.
The Spanish version went like, I'm not going to do all of it, I'm just going to do Arnold, but it was like, what did you get me? And then he goes, oh shit, no hablo anglais. No hablo inglés.
Ay, mierda. I don't speak English. Español. Ay.
Shall we rate this movie?
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
ready. Alrighty.
Alright.
Mr. Robin, what are your overall thoughts and ratings on Jingle All The Way?
I kind of like well, no, not kind of. I did like it. It was a I've seen this a bunch of times, so there's nostalgia for this movie for me that's in to account for. But I thought it's a decent Christmas movie. There's some funny stuff in it if you know what they are. If you're an adult as well, so I'd probably give this I'd give it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. It's I've seen better Christmas movies. There was a point where I was just really annoyed with this movie. Mostly it's mostly because of the kid. That's really it. Because young Anakin is just an annoyance. But yeah, that's my rating, 3.5.
Nice. Excuse me. Oh. There we go. What about you, Mr. Will? What are your overall thoughts and ratings on Jingle All The Way?
I agree with Robin. 3.5. Great. It's a great movie, great Christmas movie. Sinbad's hilarious. Hijinks, Martin Mull. I love it all. Phil Hartman being great. 3.5 all day long.
I think we're all going to be.
What are your thoughts about this movie?
I think I'm in agreement with all. I think we're all going to be having the same rating. I would give it as well as I'd give it also like a 3.5, like a 3.5, close to a 3, but I'm gonna keep it at 3.5. I enjoyed it. I think overall it's a really solid Christmas movie. It's not the best out there. I think there's better Christmas movies out there, but honestly, like if you're like if you're with the family and you want to show like a silly Christmas movie to people that, because you could put this on. Like honestly, if this was like in the background, either in English or Spanish for me, I'd sit and watch it. I mean, it's it's fun. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sinbad, we're pretty funny in the movie. There's a lot of things that now I caught as I got older, and I think the best way to describe it, I think overall it's a very cute Christmas movie, like for how it is. It may not be the best Christmas movie, but I think it's a good movie to watch on Christmas. It's one of those on the list that it's good to watch. Like in terms of like what are like good Christmas movies to watch on the holiday of on the month of December, this would be on the list. I would say this would be on the list. So yeah, 3.5 stars for me. Yeah. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, that was our review on Jingle All The Way. But of course, we're not done yet. We got one more segment before we go, and that's our Untitled Segment Idea. So, without further ado, a 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, and... Untitled Segment Idea. So it's been a while since we've done this, but let's start off with Mr. Robin. What have you recently been watching, seen, read, etc., etc., etc.?
So I've been replaying Hitman, and been replaying all 3 of them. And it's just really fun to play it. I'm also starting to rewatch the James Bond movies with my friend Frank, because we wanted to watch all of them again, and I think we're planning on doing our own lists of what's the best. I mean, that's what I'm gonna do. I don't know about Frank, but I know he's just wanting to watch them because he hasn't watched them. So, but yeah, that's really it. I've just been playing Hitman, watching James Bond with Frank. So, he just disintegrated. But that's me. So,
Nice.
Edgar, What have
Oh.
you recently watched? Something, etc., etc.
Oh.
Ed, what have you been up? Answer
Uh,
the question.
uh,
You
um,
may not see your lawyer.
um, uh, uh, well, I've done a couple of things. So one of the first things I'll say is I finally beat Metroid Dread. So that was a good time. That was a super fun game to play. And I've just been playing some random games on my PS5 specifically. Other than the other ones that I've been replaying, recently purchased Nickelodeon All Star Brawl. It was on sale for $20 on for PS5, so I picked it up at GameStop. And not gonna lie, you'll probably hear this when we release a mini episode that's coming in the future. But I think it's a really fun game. Like it's super fun. I think it's really fun. I mean, my favorite characters to play in there it's Danny Phantom, Nigel Thornberry, and Invader Zim. Also Leonardo. Like those are the ones that like really fun. But I think it's a really fun game. I really do hope they continue to support it and and all this stuff because I think it's got the potential to be a really really good game. But and another thing that I've been recently rewatching is the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies. Because I don't know, like Spider-Man No Way Home's coming out soon, and all the rumors that are going out that I won't say, but because we've heard like a million times. But for a while I was like, you know what? I just been craving to watch a Sam Raimi trilogy. That's the trilogy. That's the Spider-Man I grew up with, and I'm like, I want to rewatch it, and so I've been rewatching it, and yeah, I've been having a hell of a time, like super fun. I still need to watch the third movie to finish it, but most likely when it gets even closer to the release date of No Way Home, I'm probably gonna rewatch it again because the movies have this kind of cheese to it, but I think it's the best cheese. Like I can critically rate these movies and give it like a critical rating to them, but deep it like in my heart, in my young heart, these the first one and the second one like are 10 out of 10s for me, 5 out of 5 stars for me. Like I love those movies to death. I can rewatch those and I can never get bored. I love the music in it. The third one, to be honest, after years of all of that, I still need to rewatch that one. But like from what I remember, it's not the worst one. I mean, we have Amazing Spider-Man 2 to be the worst one already, so you can't get worse than that. So Spider-Man 3. It's a shame what direction it took, but I still think it's a fun time from what I remember. So when I get to rewatch that, I'll probably talk about that on our next episode. But yeah, that's basically what I've been doing.
Nice.
But what about you, Will? What have you recently been watched, seen, read, etc., 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 etc.?
All right. Well, as we've discussed previously, I don't have any internet, so I've been watching some DVDs. Haven't played many games in the last couple weeks, but I've been watching some DVDs. My roommate and I, and I watched a couple of Marx Brothers films. Those are great. If you've never seen the Marx Brothers, go back and like find if you got to buy them on DVD, do it. Just they're great films. We've also been watching this show from I don't know if it's Showtime or Stars, but it's called The Nick, and it's like the Knickerbocker bank, but also hospital. So it's like a hospital drama set in like Victorian Boston. So it's pretty interesting. Like the only downside is I hate watching like surgery type scenes, and this has like a lot of them. I hate it. Like I get so grossed out. Like it's not
Really?
like it's not. Yeah, it's not just like gore. Like horror movie gore is one thing, but this is like it's just the hospital setting and like I don't know that really weirds me out. And like
I can see that. I can get that.
it's like there's some tough scenes in there for me. Like so anyway, but yeah, it's going pretty well. We're probably gonna watch an episode tonight before bed. But it's got some drama. Some of the characters are really interesting. I don't know anything about the show. Like literally, he just has the first season on DVD. I think he picked it up at like half price books or something, maybe because they've got a small DVD section. So we're just kind of trying it out. I don't even know if it got picked up for a second season. Like I haven't Googled it, so don't tell me if you know.
Alrighty.
But yeah, we're gonna watch it. We're gonna watch that. So that's kind of what I've been working a lot. So that's kind of been taking over my time.
Yeah,
But
making
anyway.
big bucks.
Yeah.
Making that money. But yeah, so that's what I've been up to. Is that it?
Nice.
Are we done with the
I think that's
episode
it.
now? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we've
It
ended
has.
it. So
True that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this was a good episode. Good episode to come back to.
yeah.
Yeah, and of course, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of the episode. Just a quick reminder. Always gonna give a huge shout out to our good buddy Garudin for making our intro music. Always follow him on Spotify. Links will be on the description below. Always follow our good buddy Garudin. And follow us on social media as well. See what we're up to when we are gonna go live on updates, anything, or like the day of the life with Will and Robin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just sitting here in a Denny's dumpster.
Yeah. On Thursdays, Thursdays is popcorn shrimp night, so that's fun.
Yeah. And of course, you could subscribe to us on YouTube. Give us a follow on the Grand Slam Twitch and our Spotify, so you could catch new episodes and new videos and stuff, and all that good, nice jingle that you'll see on the description below. But yeah, as you can see, new schedule. So next time you'll see us next time. We'll be reviewing another Christmas-like movie, but we won't say until the next episode. Keeping that secrets. Yeah. But other than that, any last words from you guys before we head out?
No.
Testicles.
Alrighty, with that, with that, wait. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, evening, afternoon, or night. And bye-bye.
Bye.
No, soy quid.
Bye-bye.
No, soy quid.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.